January 2nd, 2021. Kirsten Brueggeman. 27-year-old female Kirsten Brueggeman was last seen on a security camera in Indianapolis, Indiana, walking across an empty parking lot at 2 a.m. The young woman was having a night out with friends when things went awry and she was left on her own, deciding after midnight to walk through the city herself in search of a bowling alley. Did Kirsten fall victim to foul play, or were there signs from her past record with the law that could help explain her sudden disappearance? Prior to the night she went missing, Kirsten Brueggeman was living with her parents in northeast Indianapolis while also working at a Cece's on the south side. She was described by those who knew her as being free-spirited and fun-loving, with a special place in her heart for animals. Kirsten also had a long history of run-ins with the law. Starting in her teen years, she had over 10 separate cases dating back to 2012, including a pending court date for drug paraphernalia that was scheduled several months after she vanished. The charges were mostly drug and alcohol related, but there were also charges for battery and harassment, resisting arrest, and leaving the scene of an accident. She even had a restraining order put against her by another person. Although investigators do not believe any of Kirsten's rap sheet is related to her disappearance, the past incidents could explain why she was living at her parents' home and depended on them for transportation. It could also explain her behavior that evening, as she did have a history of challenges when it came to anger management and good decision-making. The day Kirsten was last seen, she had spoken to her mother, letting her know she wouldn't need a ride home from work that evening because she had plans to go out and meet some friends for drinks. After work, Kirsten headed over to the Irish Mutt, a bar and restaurant in East Indianapolis. She was meeting up with 4 friends, her ex-boyfriend, several of his friends, and another young woman. During the course of the evening, an argument broke out among the group. It's unclear what the argument was about, or Kirsten's involvement in it, but it did result in the friends deciding to leave Kirsten alone, on her own, at the pub. Her friends would later express their remorse at having left her behind that night, but it would be too little, too late. What happened next to Kirsten is still a bit unclear. She is believed to have left the pub just after midnight, around 12:15 a.m., with a desire to go bowling. There were several bowling alleys in the area, but none of them were a short walk away, especially on a cold winter's evening. No matter what her destination was, or if she even had one, security tapes that were later gathered by investigators showed Kirsten walking around the area, reportedly crossing through several parking lots, her destination unknown. The final security camera footage that Kirsten was last seen on puts her in the parking lot of the YMCA on Shortridge Road, which is adjacent to an apartment complex named Abbey Meadows. Detectives have noted the parking lot was fenced in, which would mean she'd have to climb the fence to get out, unless she never left on foot. Unfortunately, the security camera footage did not capture how Kirsten exited the parking lot. According to the Indianapolis Police Department, the camera focused on the YMCA lot, which shut off and on, clipping out vital chunks of the timeline and leaving law enforcement and Kirsten's family with little to go on. Over a year after Kirsten was last seen by her friends and on the security cameras walking through the Indianapolis night, her family and investigators have no more information on her case than they did in the immediate days following her disappearance. So what did happen to Kirsten Brueggeman? Did the young woman climb over the fence and end up at an unknown location, or run into foul play while she continued to walk? Or did a vehicle enter the parking lot and pick up Kirsten, either against her will or not? Footage of the entire incident lost due to a camera glitch. It has been mentioned by some local residents that the area through which Kirsten was walking that evening is a dark and relatively abandoned industrial area, an area which is also known to have large populations of homeless or transient people. Was Kirsten walking through parking lots because of the light they offered in an effort to be safe, only to end up exposing herself to someone with bad intentions who may have been camping along the path, watching as she walked? Some have suggested she was headed to a drug dealer's house in the apartment complex adjacent to the YMCA parking lot. If that was Kirsten's destination, did she ever make it there? And if she did, what happened while at the dealer's apartment that made it so she would never leave again? The disrupted camera footage and a lack of eyewitness accounts led the case to grow cold. In March of 2021, Kirsten's family hired a private investigator and are currently offering a reward for any information leading to her location. Kirsten's parents don't believe she would have left on her own, noting she had not expressed any desire to escape or leave her life, especially since she had her beloved dog Tifa at their house. Kirsten's family have spoken with local media and are confident that somebody must know something. Her parents are holding out for a miracle while coping with the daily, never-ending pain of a missing child. Kirsten Brueggeman is 5 feet 2 inches tall and 115 pounds. She was last seen wearing a black waist-length coat, blue jeans, and a gray stocking cap, and carrying a white backpack. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Kirsten Brueggeman, or if you have seen or remember any detail which could aid investigators, please contact IMPD's Missing Persons Unit or Louth Investigations Anonymous Tip Line at 317-279-6082.